Hello, and welcome to another episode of Just Wing It with KSP RP-2. So we are doing the biological sample, suborbital biological sample, something or other. Yeah, this contract. Um, so I modified the rocket from the film return sample to, wait, why am I not? Yes. Uh, so I added this service model tank to include the sounding rocket payload and to also provide like a kind of adapter to the size of the biological sample capsule, which is here. We actually have this on to see if. And fortunately, I don't have any avionics requirements, so I could actually have a very small science core here. And thanks to this, building this rocket actually takes less than 3 days. So that is why we're doing this mission first instead of the um, supersonic airplane mission. 350 kilometers apogee, perfect. I also added the mass spectrometry experiment, so we should be getting a fair bit of science from this. Uh, ooh, sunrise, perfect. Good eye candy. So we just need to return home safely. It is a bit iffy, so going so far up and then just falling straight back down, but I'm sure like the probe can take it. It shouldn't be too hot in re-entry. Uh, so yeah, I won't linger too much of this. I'll just keep you updated with what, if anything interesting happens, or if we just get back with a successful mission. Okay, so we're about to hit the atmosphere, and we took a good chunk of the time it takes to run this experiment. I think it was 20 minutes originally. So two launches of this mission won't be enough, especially because I'll probably need to add more sounding rocket payload for the next one, giving us less time and space, but three should definitely do it. The only problem will be the upper atmosphere one that we're not spending nearly as much time in there, so it will take more. And smack. Yeah, so we had less than 2 minutes of time for this for the upper atmosphere biome. And actually, no heating at all. Perfect. Okay, so we're about to touch ground. Decent landing speed and successful mission. And some weird parachute physics. 21 reputation. And let's see how much science we got. 10 science. Excellent. So now we can unlock the node for the X-15 cockpit. And I think I might want to. Well, let's see that later. Okay, so we have unlocked the first advanced biological suborbital experiment, and I believe that's the. So yeah, we could technically just do that and be done with the program. But I want to do these other ones until we get all the science from this, anyways. So I think I'm going to keep alternating between these two for the moment. Does this have? Let's see. Oh, so this one I need a minimum orbital velocity. Standing rocket payload. Uh, Avionics, though to be fair, the advanced biological Sample capsule, I think, includes like the description says it's like a small dog or something instead of fruit flies. So I think for ethical reasons, spin stabilization would not be the best option. I don't know how fruit flies would fare with spin stabilization, to be honest. Okay, let's build another one of these rockets, and then it's time for the supersonic flight. 400 kilometers, so we should be fine. Okay, it's time for the harrowing mission in this episode. Um, let's get this. So we have to maintain between 550 meters per second and 600 meters per second. Let's get in the air, and I'll explain why this is harrowing. Okay, we're up. So this is the Dragonfly Mark II. I ended up making a few modifications. I The wing is actually two pieces now uh, to give it more of a delta design. I didn't honestly. It's almost a triangle, uh, but I wanted more wing area to improve its handling at low speeds. It now takes off much more smoothly and at a slower speed, so mission accomplished. But for landing, it's still, unless it's an empty tank, it still needs a very high angle of attack, so it's a bit daunting. So yeah, the landing is going to be interesting. Otherwise, yeah, this plane should have no problem with the mission. It can reach 700 meters per second. Uh, I did lower the fuel to just 20 minutes of flight time, less than that apparently, but it should be more than enough. So yeah, I'll come back when uh, I have finished the 3 minute run, and then for landing. Oh, I forgot to mention. So another uh, modification that I made it was I tilted these ones slightly. They're not perfectly vertical, but angled slightly outwards. And I did that because now if the rudders move outwards, they're technically acting as a bit of a flap. So now if I increase flaps, I won't do it right now, but I'll show it later. These are not set as flaps, so it, these ones will open outwards and act as a brake. So now I have brakes. Okay, so we're about to complete the contract requirements, aside from obviously landing. Um, there we go. And we have also finished the supersonic flight experiment. So for the next one, I'll have to go for the hypersonic flight. Uh, but how far away are we? Yeah, so it's time to slow down. I'll actually demonstrate quickly here. This is the brake, but it doesn't like too much to be paired with the rudder, so maybe I should have split it and used two different surfaces. Um, but yeah, I'll come back for landing. Okay, so here we go. Fortunately, I still have a lot of fuel, so the low speed flight characteristics are not the best. Uh, but we should be fine. They're already going quite slow. but I think I want to slow down a bit more. Gear down. Yeah, our vertical speed is quite high. So now let's retract the brakes and start flaring up. I don't think that was less than 10 meters per second vertical velocity. Yes, we did it. Perfect. Okay, so that should just leave the Mach 2 contract. Let's check it out. So, not a lot of science, unfortunately. Plus 4 days. Okay, so it's only the rocket plane contracts that push the retirement date quite far. And we won't be doing those for a while, so oof. Um, Mission control. So, between 600 meters per second and 650, okay. Uh, yeah, same, nothing special compared to the other contracts. So we can definitely do it with this plane. Um, but, well, we have to roll it back, refuel it, and wait. Yeah, so I think this will be the next mission. So again, I'll just try to just show the highlights. But yeah, let's get this all done over with. There's one two. Yeah, two and Carmelite. Perfect. Okay, be right back with that mission. Okay, so we are back. This is the last of the supersonic jet missions. We let's get this. Have to uh, be between 600 and 650 meters per second for 3 minutes, same as the other missions we've been doing, just slightly faster. Um, so minimum speed 600. So just by going above 600 meters per second, we should be good. So I will just keep an eye on that. And again, I'll just show you the highlights. Okay, so clock is running on the timer. That sounds very redundant. Yes. And it's also running on the experiment. Now, unfortunately, this still takes half an hour to run, so we won't finish it this mission. But I have actually it's started building another Hornet. I should have never scrapped the previous one because all of our astronauts are going to retire before we're able to build the new rocket plane with the X-15 cockpit. And missions with the jet aircraft don't really push the retirement date that far. So I'm going to have to do more high altitude flights in order to keep them interested. Which will also allow me to take care of this experiment, plus the crew report that has to be above 40 kilometers in altitude. And I'm hoping it will be able to keep them in the program because I don't want to hire another astronaut for just one flight. Um, But I'm not sure if because we won't be breaking any records or something, it might become routine. It might not be pushing their retirement date far enough. Let's give it a little bit more throttle. This is going to be a very long flight back to the space center because we passed it before I was even up to speed. Okay, that's the speed requirements done. So let's throttle back down. Can get rid of this, and I'll head home. Um, okay, so we're about to land. Approach seems nominal. If again a bit hairy with this angle of attack, we still ended up with quite a lot of fuel. Oh, I'm a bit too high, so let's and then flare up. Oof. That was rough, but I think it was still under 10 meters per second. Are the brakes on? Yes. Yeah, I'm not happy with this plane. It's or I'm not sure. I think I just need to get used to landing like this because I mean I think commercial planes come at with the nose aiming up like at a considerable angle. So maybe it's just a matter of choosing a lower glide slope and going in like already facing up quite a bit. But let's see. We got the contract complete and uh, the land on the runway with a decent descent angle. Okay, so this is what I mean. The following retirement changes have occurred. Ji Young plus 3 days. Like that's nothing. Um, so we actually have. So I think I might just stop using Lislot. She doesn't seem to be too motivated. So I'll just focus on Jean and Manuela. Do a few missions with them. I think right now we are looking at mid 1958 for being able to build the like finish building the rocket plane that can pass the Karma line. So I'll try to push their retirement date up to that. Uh, so I'll see how it goes. But now I think let's finish this episode off with another film return mission. Be right back with that. Okay, final mission for today, and we have a nighttime launch. Here we go. It seems to be a cloudy day, so no eye candy for the first portion of launch. Okay, we seem to have passed max Q without a problem. And the film return camera is running. 8 minutes to go on upper atmosphere. Let's actually check that our apogee is high enough. Yes. Okay, there's the eye candy I was hoping for. and successful stage separation. Okay, we have completed the 400 kilometers and are in the area of the atmosphere where we should be experiencing the most amount of heat, but yeah, we're going very slow. There's no danger of us blowing up in reentry. Uh, and yeah, we still have quite a few minutes on the clock here, especially for space. So it's really going to take a lot of missions to get all the science from this. Okay, that was a very long and uninteresting descent in almost pitch blackness, and there seems to be some debris coming our way. But yeah, successful mission. So another one in the books, and I think I'll leave it here for today. Thank you very much for watching, and I will see you next time.